Hello to you, my name is Alonso, and I'm going to take part of this speaking section. Okay, so there are some questions that I need to address. The first one is, what type of traveler are you? The good planner, the adventurers, the photographer, the backpacker, the backpackers, the freaky weekenders, the groupie, the expedition member. Describe yourself. Okay, so first of all, I have some of them. To be honest, I have some of them. For example, I consider myself a good planner. Why? Because it's essential to keep in mind that you're going to travel and it is like adventure. So you bring that idea. It's an adventure and whatever could happen. Whatever could happen. So what you need to do is to be prepared to have like a plan B, or to have a side plan, another plan if something goes wrong. So that is really important because it's something expected. Yeah, you know that you are going to travel, but you don't know what will happen then. And another characteristic is the adventures. The adventures. So this is other like quality that I have. I think that the only one way to discover like new things is making the decision to go beyond. What I mean to go beyond. So that you need to have that adventurous spirit um, to see for yourself how marvelous or how unpleasant things could be. I'm I'm like a typical person who is so curious about everything. I mean, I see everything and I want to know how everything works. For example, if I have an expedition or something like that, I I really like to go into caves to explore the jungle and to swim. Everything I want to be part on. Uh, so and basically, if you're not adventurous people, you will very like sad, like boring in a plan. So it's really good to be like adventurous people. Now, what is the consequence to be like adventurous people or like adventurous person? Is that you probably we have some problems, and when I see problems, maybe pests, mosquitoes, or whatever, maybe like suffer some accidents, uh, maybe your injury, your body. So there are some consequences. Yeah, I admit that. However, yeah, it depends of the person. If want to take the risk. In my opinion, you should take the risk because if you don't take the risk, you don't take the risk, uh, you'll be like watching the same things and don't have the opportunity to discover new things, right? The other characteristic is the photographer. The photographer. Many times I'm in charge to keep the evidence, and that is my camera. Actually, it's not like a professional camera, but it's the phone camera, but it works. So what is most pleasant to do this activity to take photos is um, that taking photo you can bring to the mind of you and your group the unforgettable memories. Yeah, memories, like the happiest moments, and the other that are not so happy. And you can take your time also. You can take your time, like seeing in detail, like seeing in detail the scenario, the scenario you were, the activities, yeah, the activities that you were doing in that time, that was happening. And sure, it creates like a really friendly environment. You can look all the time and make jokes. So it is really good to be like a photographer because you have like the most important memories, the unforgettable memories, and you can share with them and repeat the nice things that you did with your group. Yeah, so that is really really good to be a photographer. What I recommend to you is to travel in group. Is to travel in group because traveling alone is so boring. So boring because you don't have like a distraction. You don't have somebody to interact with you. So the time will pass very slowly. And what you want is that the time passes as fast as possible. So that is what I think. Now it is time to move to the second activity. It is about the unit B. And the unit B basically it says that people, well, the sooner ways serve no useful purpose and should be banned. Maybe this is a controversial topic for a lot of people. Uh, but I have like a posture for this one. I have now my perception, my worldview about this, and I see that zoos must not be banned because, in my point of view, they take care of animals. Yeah, they don't mistreat the animals. They take care of them. They feed them. Uh, they are pending about the health, the behavior. Uh, that they have a really good area. So I think that it is important this place, and they must not be banned. The zoos must not be banned. Sometimes animals suffer fracture because they have fallen. Sometimes they are injured because of other animals. You know, while where animals try to eat other animal. So what they do is just try to help that animal that is injured and try to care there of them. So usually, usually uh, zoos have suitable habitats, habitat for they to take care of them. Again, eating, they feed them. Uh, they are pending of the health issues, and furthermore, it is really good. Zoos are really good opportunity to for students to know about animals in the real life because sometimes television's distortion the reality, um, and the perception about what animals is so like so cute. um, they they are so cute, and they don't represent uh, like something dangerous. So children uh, can take that risk because they have shown that in watched that in television. But if you had that opportunity to carry out your child, your kid, or even professor students, this source can bring them like the real perception, what what is right. Yeah, I mean that they need to respect wild animals. They that they need to know the current behavior. How are some behaviors? How can you identify some behaviors? Because sometimes animals represent that with body expressions. So if you had that opportunity to identify that body like expressions, you can see how how it's feeling that animal, and maybe identifying that expression can save your life for an attack of a wild animal. So, and I'm against to zoos. I think that zoos uh, are doing well their work, and they continue, and they need to continue. They must to continue. They must continue taking care of animals. And that's it. Thank you so much for taking your time. See you in next section.